Hey everybody, today we're going to go over how to write variable expressions from word problems. Stephen had 54 books. Then he went to a book sale and bought B more books. Write an expression showing how many books Stephen has now. All right, so let's dig into this problem. So he started with 54 books and bought B more books. So if he was getting more books, he was getting additional books. We're going to want to use addition to represent this function. So we have 54 plus b represents the variable expression of how many books Stephen has now. So let's jump to the next example. Nathan has B more bouncy balls than Ed. Ed has 89 bouncy balls. Write an expression showing how many bouncy balls Nathan has. So Ed has 89 bouncy balls, and Nathan has B more bouncy balls than Ed. So we have 89, and are we adding, subtracting B? Let's think this out. If Nathan has B more bouncy balls than Ed, we're going to want to add. We can look at this keyword more, and that will usually mean that we'll be using addition. So Nathan has 89 plus B balls. Rose has R more rubber bands than Julian. Julian has 64 rubber bands. Write an expression that shows how many rubber bands Rose has. So Rose has R more rubber bands than Julian, and Julian has 64 rubber bands. So if Julian has 64 rubber bands and Rose has R more, that means that Rose has 64 plus R rubber bands. Edwin has G gumballs. Manuel has 70 fewer gumballs than Edwin. Write an expression that shows how many gumballs Manuel has. So if Edwin has G gumballs and Manuel has 70 fewer gumballs, let's see how many Manuel has. Fewer implies that there's less than, so we're going to want to have to subtract in this case. So G represents how many gumballs Edwin has, and if Manuel has 70 fewer gumballs than Edwin, we take away 70 from G. And that variable expression represents this word problem. And that's all I have for you today. I hope that helped